presentation of the National Football League.
Well, we knew snow was a possibility for this game, and the weather was happy to oblige with a nice layer of white over Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium, and we got more snow on the way. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he will have the Steelers first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball.
Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. On the run, it's Warren. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in a long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 6. And the Steelers first down.
So opening drive, 3rd down. They complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And this one is incomplete.
Intended for Robert Woods.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Here's Rodgers. Setting up the screen with Gainwell. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Now Rodgers. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. .39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
And in recent seasons, he's really elevated his game and become one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL when he's out there leading his squad. He completed over 72% of his passes last season, which led the league, and he's looking to be even better in this season.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Keanu Benton, the one who got in to bury him.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. In motion, Hill. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, the Dolphins turn to Ryan Stonehouse to punt. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
That's good for a Pittsburgh Steeler. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Oh, and now some space to operate. Still on his feet. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Warren, 38 yards. And the Steelers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through.
Steelers 7.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses. Without
a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's got Brown on the out route complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Tua sets up to pass it. Well, the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Oh, the snap, a poor one, and this is blocked. And they will have possession 1st and 10 inside the red zone at the 15. And that play was made coming up the middle. That wasn't a punt block from the outside, Charles.
That means someone had their eyes in the wrong place, and that would be the personal protector. Look in the middle first before you scan to the side. Sometimes they get distracted and think the threat is coming off the edge. Up the middle is the one you have to care about the most because that's the quickest spot and the quickest way to the punter.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. In motion goes the tight end. To throw, it's Rodgers. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
A 31-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Dolphins offense returning to the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. That's going to be caught downfield by Hill. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It's a gain of 25 yards. And the Dolphin first down.
In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Now, he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
No sign of Tua departing. Fourth down. They're going for it. In motion, Hill. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Now it's Rodgers. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Completes it to Austin. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down.
And the Steelers, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Here's Warren. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 78 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Steelers. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they come up now 2nd and goal. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Robert Woods, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0.
Dolphins, nothing.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Miami set to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
This one thrown underneath to Achane. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 27-yard line.
From the gun, it's Tua. Open man is Hill. He's got it. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Quick slant, Tyreek Hill with it. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 44-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Play action, now it's Tua. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Alex Highsmith. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Tua going to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Out of the gun on third down. Here's Tua. That's caught. Nick Westbrook-Akine with it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Here's Tua. They complete it to Hill. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Wide open receiver complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now Tua. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Tua now, 3rd and goal. And he had to reach for that one, but can't grab it. It's behind him, and it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
The kick by Sanders is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
Dolphins 3.
So that stems the tide just a little, but this still a 2-touchdown game.
And I think that maybe that was a bit of a calming drive for this offense, and that's exactly what they needed. They were able to move the ball. They did some good things. It's still the 2nd quarter. Plenty of time to go.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of the route too.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 88 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And the tight end goes in motion left. Now Rodgers. Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf. 7 yards there and a first down.
7-yard gain.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now a run with Warren. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A nice stick and stop for a loss there from Jalen Phillips.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Throwing is Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Warren. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Partner, I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss because this is an obvious passing situation, but instead they fooled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost and then a little bit more.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. The sack there by Bradley Chubb. The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" because here they come.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. The drive starts with a run from Achane. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Rodgers. And he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First down. First down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Warren is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Now a 3rd and 6. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a 1st down.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the 1st down before taking the hit.
From midfield, here's Tua. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a 1st.
22 yards. 1st down, Dolphins.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
A gain of 7.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. Looking to pass. Tua. All that gets gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run. Achane. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Steelers' 8-yard line.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Tua sets up to pass it. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been played at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Flushed out right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
A gain of a yard. It's now 4th and goal.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Sanders' kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead. Yeah,
flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando and Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you, and welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen in Orlando, where it almost never snows. These 2 teams dealing with a light dusting, and that's expected to go on into the second half. Who handles it better? Let's go back out to the stadium and check in with our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thank you. The snow is continuing to trickle down here as we ready ourselves for the second half to follow.
Chris Boswell.
This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Got an open man. It's Washington. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And you start to think, if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a first down.
The tight end in motion right. Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Looking to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt able to drop in that time for his second sack of the evening.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Tua. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Open man is Waddle, complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. They bring the pressure, and a very short kick.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
This is one of the dangers of going for the punt block.
And you know before you even call going for the block, it's a risk-reward play. So many factors come into it. They went after it, and you know punters, what they do? They leave their leg up in the air an extra count or two, hoping someone comes into contact.
A run straight ahead with H.N. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Alex Highsmith simply would not be stopped on that play.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
In motion, the tight end. Now on 2nd and 13. Tua on target over the middle to Hill. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
It's a gain of 8, and it brings up 3rd down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
L.H.N. on 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Tua. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. T.J. Watt bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Tua hit, and the ball is out. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the 3rd quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their 1st drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
A 46-yard attempt.
Oh, the snap, a poor one, and this is blocked. But down this big, we know that they need touchdowns instead of field goals, but now it's add insult to injury because they can't even get the 3, Charles, on the excellent block there by the special teams.
And it certainly felt to me like the special teams consider themselves an extension of the defense, which has played well for them. They have a nice cushion. They didn't want to allow any points, any opportunity to cut into their lead. A big-time play by those guys on that side of the ball.
Looking to put a drive together. Rodgers going to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Woods. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd down at the 40-yard line.
Warren will try the right side. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Taken down at the 41. A gain of a yard on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop them on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's caught. It's Austin left side. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Steelers first down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 97 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
On the give is Warren. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's third down.
Here's 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 30. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track.
Steelers. First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
A handoff for Warren. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They'll keep it on the ground. Warren. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
There they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. That is caught. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 12-yard line. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here's Rodgers to throw. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Boswell's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's a give to Madison running right. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
A loss of 2.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
43-yard line.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Tua going to throw. Now he'll escape to his right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Here's Tua. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Buying time to his left. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for 1st downs instead of airing it out.
Now Tua. That's caught by Waller out left side. And out of bounds right around the 20. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down.
4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Achane going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there getting the safeties involved in run support.
Now Tua on the bootleg here. Touchdown, Dolphins! Darren Waller from a yard out. And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. Oh, the snap, a poor one, and this is blocked.
And it's usually not a good thing when we start talking about the long snapper, but it was his error that led directly to that block. If this operation is cleaner, we're probably talking about a different outcome.
So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steelers offense and their running back Jalen Warren headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way. So it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him. Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Rodgers to throw once more. Here's Freiermuth again. Now he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now they'll send Waddle in motion left. Play action. Now it's Tua. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd down and 3. On play action, here's Tua. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He'll dump this off to Achane. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Miami. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. He's got his man. That's Woods on the out route. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And there defensively was Jack Jones. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. They overload him that time on the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
And they visited the end zone frequently in this one, and obviously they wanted another one. But give credit to the defense there. They may not make the comeback, but pride showed. Good sack on that play.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15.
A gain of 9.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Dolphins offense returning to the field. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. He'll throw from the gun. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Looking to pass. Tua. That one complete to Hill. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
First down, Dolphins.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
From the 35, here's a 2nd down and 9. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
Here is 3rd and 5. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, Doesn't look like it's going to matter much. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Rodgers throwing here. A short one there to Freiermuth. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Now 2nd and 5. Up the middle they go. Warren. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And despite the cold, despite the snow, this one was fun to watch. And I want to thank you for bringing 2 things, the space heater and the hot chocolate. Those were a big help for us here in the booth.
Yeah, just so you know, in the future, get your own space heater. Okay, I'm an only child. I don't share very often. But this had to bring out like the 12-year-old in us, didn't it? I mean, to be able to watch this. And let's face it, when you were that age, you didn't come inside until Mom screamed, "Get inside now, young man," because you wanted to be out there just having a good time, and actually you almost forgot just how cold it was. I'm sure these guys didn't, but they ended up playing just like those 12-year-olds and getting it done.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.